Hey everybody, well, I missed last Tuesday, so here's the Tuesday treasure for the week, the Blackbird House. This is a little more of a book review than a rumination, but still it's tied into all the work I've been doing. In the book Blackbird House, best-selling author Alice Hoffman takes me to the Cape and tells the story of a family farm near Truro on Lower Cape Cod in a series of 12 short pieces, tying the various owners of the house together with a crimson thread that winds through 200 years. I've always loved old Cape houses. Red is the primary color theme of the stories as she takes you from the red leather boots, possibly the sign of a witch, to a red cardinal staked as an omen in the farmyard, to the red pear tree in the front yard of the home. Even the home's first owner, Coral Hadley, carries the red symbolism. Coral would have preferred the farm life, but every farm on the Cape has the siren call of the sea attached to it. I lived on the remains of an old dairy farm in Barnstable, Mystic Lake Dairy Farm, and the salt air was prevalent even though we were 5 miles from the shore. You can see both the rugged Atlantic Ocean to the east and calmer Cape Cod Bay to the west from most farms in Truro. Coral's husband, the builder of the house, John Hadley, wants to make one more fishing trip back to the sea. This trip sets the stage for the remaining stories in the book. The farm is a place that is as bewitching and alive as the characters we meet. Violet, a brilliant girl who's in love with books and with a man destined to betray her. Lysander Wynne, attacked by a halibut as big as a horse, certain that his life is ruined until a boarder wearing red boots arrives to change everything. Maya Cooper, who does not understand the true meaning of love between her mother and father until it's nearly too late. Even though this is a work of fiction, Cape Cod life shows through clearly. The people's names are familiar. Even the woman's name, Easter, which can be found in ancient town records and would today probably more often be spelled Esther. Hoffman's images take me right back to Cape Cod. Here's one. April was ending with sheets of rain and the sound of peepers calling from the shore of the pond. Her relation of the fisherman's tale as the bite marks on his arms from the bluefish burned, but he paid the scars no mind. If you've ever been on the receiving end of the bite of a bluefish, you'll know exactly how the fisherman feels. It was May, the time of year when the men went to sea, their sights set on mackerel and cod. I can picture a school of mackerel running before larger fish, and the fishermen landing the mackerel in their boats by the hundreds. In the tale Insulting Angels, Hoffman tells us on the farthest edges of the Cape, it was widely believed that cranberries first came to earth in the beak of a dove. If that was indeed true, then heaven was red, and the memory of paradise could be plucked from the low growing shrubs that grew in the dampest, muddiest bogs, a far cry from heaven. While a college student, my father and his best friend Bob Duke picked cranberries at Summer's Inn for Lou Kroll in East Dennis, Cape Cod. Dad related how they almost died in the noonday sun, picking cranberries on their hands and knees for 35 cents a box until they were so hot they were ready to drop. Then Dad and Bob would jump into the pond for a swim before lunch to revive themselves. In Hoffman's story, Larkin Howard had worked harvesting cranberries from the time he was 12, and his hands were permanently dyed red. It was a pink morning, misty, and the tide was especially low. Beaching of whales often happened in the place where the Dyke Road had been built. We venture through a yarn set during the Civil War. We hear about Hoolie and her sister shucking razorfish, a clam with a shell shaped like a straight razor. We call them razor clams. And clams for bait to catch runs of herring and bluefish, and later harvesting saltgrass to feed the animals. Later, in 1908, another tale tells us about Jack Crosby, the rich man in town who made his money in oysters and now lives on Beacon Hill and drives the first car into town. We're brought into the World War II era with another drama. Some of the tales are dark, dark red. They might be considered depressing, but most are very believable. Is life stranger than fiction? I would recommend this book to anyone looking for a quick glimpse of the Cape and trying to recapture some of the feelings of those Cape ancestors. Alice Hoffman is the author of 16 acclaimed and best-selling works of fiction, including The Probable Future, Turtle Moon, and Practical Magic. She's also the author of 6 books for children, including Green Angel and the forthcoming Moondog, written with her son, Wolf Martin. Writers love to read, and maybe these stories will spark something else in my past to bring to light for my readers. I just wanted to share with you a picture of my cousin's Ruth's house at 26 School Street, Private Neck. Let's see, share the screen. There's cousin Ruth's house, a little half cape sort of design. Yeah. And then just one other picture, the picture of the book, The Blackbird House by Alice Hoffman there on Amazon. I'd sure recommend it. Anyway, Tuesday Treasure. Hope you all have a good rest of the week.